everybody, this is a walkthrough of the new Intuit Oracle cards that I received today, and the little question cards. I've used an example in the little booklet that comes with them as the question, and my intention is that this is for the collective, that it's relevant to anybody who watches my videos, and I am going to start offering these readings on Etsy as of today as well, but it's basically, why haven't I heard from my person? That might be your twin flame, your soulmate, your lover, the person you're dating. So the cards that have come up are these ones here. Just have a little look at those, and I will do the reading. So the first card is called The End, and it's mutable. So mutable is changeable, adaptable. So we're starting at the end. I see these 5 cards as in a sequence of where we're coming from to where we're going through in the journey along the way. So it's the end of the season. It actually is the end of the season. We're coming out of winter, so we're coming out of that inner phase, more closed phase, hibernation, where everything's underground and germinating, ready to come out and blossom. Open-minded, wise, perfecting touch. So it's a time of germination, of introspection, of perfecting things, laying low, being still, being quiet, seeing both sides, so reflection, review, looking at things. Chameleon is changeable, empathic, changeable. So it's deeper, it's under the surface, it's more feeling, more understanding, more reviewing, more understanding, and we're coming to the end of that phase. So if we're talking about communication, there's likely to be less communication, more pondering, more reflection, and we're coming to the end of that phase now, as we move into the Ace of Clubs, which is 25. 2 and 5 is 7, spiritual. Ring, so agreement, pact, cycle. So again, we've got cycle. There's this cycle that's completing. There's a contract that's ending. I would say that there's a karmic cycle ending, and it's a period of introspection. Circular, continuing on, closure, promise, bond. So I'd say this is a turning point. It's a turning point where you're pondering, is this what I want? Is this where I'm going? I'm really feeling into who you are and what you want, what's right for you. Having cleared karmic issues, cleared karmic cycles, graduating to the next level. And does that graduating to the next level mean coming together and committing? Or are we getting into another cycle of, like for the twin flame, there's like the push and the pull, the coming together, the getting triggered and activated, then the karma and lessons coming up, then going away, separating, working those out separately, coming back together, getting triggered again. So that is a commitment over lifetimes to do that. And if this is your particular life where you're working through all of those lifetimes, then you're also kind of in that cycle, you're in that contract to do that. You're committed to doing that, to coming together and pulling apart in alignment to the soul needs rather than the human needs. And it's an evolution and it's an ascension. So you're committed to helping each other ascend, which means some coming together and pulling apart. And on the human levels, that may not be handled really well, because on the human levels, you might be feeling separation wounds or ego hits or heartbreak, But at the higher level, you are in this pact and you are always connected and you are bonded and you are promised. But it's like a lot of life and death cycles within one lifetime or within one relationship, which is committing to take you higher constantly. So there is this overarching agreement and pact and cycle and contract and partnership and trust and alliance and commitment. And even with all the little bits of closure or separation, there's still this promise and this bond that continues on. And it's riding that wave of separation and connection, knowing that you're always one and always connected and you're in this together, regardless of what that looks like on the human level. But it feels like it's coming to an end of a cycle now and stepping into a higher cycle, one of, after winter comes the spring, so kind of moving into that fruition of what you've been germinating and clearing and percolating. Ishataka titaka taka titaka toko to titaka ta titaka tata titaka taka koko akata titaka tata titaka tako to kota titaka taka poko tata takaka. So the next one is the Queen of Water. So I would say after this is after you're kind of aligning to that, knowing that you're always connected regardless of what's happening in the tangible world. And it's saying that it's passionate, it's resourceful, it's possessive, deep, psychic, probing, sexy, perceptive, focused and determined. So it's intense. Let's just say it's intense. There's an intensity. So the undercurrent is intense. The connection is intense. And that can make things on the surface a bit hard to stick around for sometimes, because it touches you deeply. It touches your core. It gets into the depths. So the Queen of Water is Scorpio. And it's fixed water, so that's like ice, right? Fixed water is ice. The timing is autumn or fall, October, November. So there's this sense of it really dropping into those deeper levels around that time, or whenever fall is in your country, autumn. So following on from that, we've got 33 and 8. 3 and 3 is communication, it's activity, it's mental activity. 8 is abundance. 3 and 3 is 6, which is harmony and peace and unity. And it's the key. So after deepening into those deeper levels, knowing that you're always connected and recognizing the cycles within the cycles and the cycles within the relationship, being in line with that flow, you access the solution, the key, the intelligence, the genius, the insight, the clarity. You can open because you're not afraid of those closings. So you can be open. Separation doesn't mean you need to close your heart. You can break out of that cycle of open heart, closed heart. Whenever you close your heart, you're closing your heart to everything. You're closing your heart to yourself. So that frees you. You can kind of, instead of like unconsciously locking and unlocking, you can be conscious of what you're doing. You can have visibility over it. You can be paying attention to those cycles. You can recognize them as they're coming through. And you can recognize the runner-chaser dynamic. You can recognize how you are contributing to that. You can be conscious of it instead of unconscious. And then from that point, you can stay open, even in separation, without closing your heart, without closing down. If you close your heart, you're closing yourself off to so much. Okay. And from there we move to Clover. So this reminds me of the spring. We've got that 6 again, balance, unity, peace, harmony, balance. And 2 is unity. Luck, happy coincidence, unexpected rendezvous, a fling, good fortune, carefree, a reward, flirt, and short-lived. So it's coming back into connection again, isn't it? In the physical reality, in the tangible world. It feels like happy coincidence, and like it feels like it's aligned, like it's synchronous, like it's in time with universal rhythms, with your soul, with your conscious, with your ascension, with the cycles, in a positive way, and the fact it's carefree and a reward feels like it's not holding that fear that often comes with these push and pull cycles, or someone leaving and coming back, which is, this fear they're going to leave again, because they always do. So not really getting to fully enjoy that togetherness or be in full presence, because there's always that knowing that you've got to protect your heart because they're about to leave again. So I would say this could be a fling with anybody, in terms of it could, just be something that reminds you how attractive you are and how much fun you can be in a connection that's not so deep and intense, and taking you through your ascension process, and taking you through all the challenges at the deeper core soul levels that you're mastering in this lifetime, but something that's happy and light, and reminds you that things can be that way. But it could also, being that this question is about your person, the person that you're asking about, I would say also that it could just mean a synchronous, unexpected meeting with that person that's much lighter. It's much lighter, without the expectation of, if we come together, as we do keep coming together, that it has to be forever, or it has to be this way, or it has to be a relationship. It's like something that you understand that you're in this together long term, across lifetimes, and this is another moment where we come together and enjoy it and be in the present with it. Isha tatatati takataka ko, atatati tatatati takato to, atatati takatatati takatakaka. Akatatata, akatatati takatakato ko, akatatati takatakato ko, akatatati takatatati takatatata, akatati takatataka, akogoto ko, akatatati takatakato ko, akatatatata ko, ataka atakaka ko, akatatata kataka ko, akatatati takatakato ko, akatatati takatakato ko, akatatati takatakato ko, akatatati takatakataka, akatatati takatoko, akatati takatakata, akatakataka, to. Okay, so I'm feeling the ear canals shift, like the listening, the hearing, the listening at the higher level, not just what you're going through personally and how much it hurts not to have contact or communication, but hearing what's happening at the higher levels, hearing their soul communicating with you, hearing their soul's love for you and commitment to you. I'm seeing the key now. The key's being placed energetically in your hand. The liberty, the visibility over the locking and unlocking of your heart that you're doing. The ability to see and perceive it and understand the bigger picture. And then I'm seeing energy going into the clover, to the flowers, and the ability to lighten it up, and move up and down the layers of your connection to understand you're always connected, and how freeing that is, and how much of a reward and beautiful thing it is whenever you do come together, to be able to focus on when you do come together rather than when you're apart. Because what you focus on is what you cultivate. So if you are focusing on, oh, I love it when we come together, I know we'll be coming together again because it's part of our contract and our cycle. I love it when we're together, and being grateful for those moments you're together, it completely shifts the dynamic. And the flip side of that, of course, is if when you're together or not together, you're conscious of the fact that this isn't a relationship. Why is this not a relationship? Why are they not with me? Why are they pushing me away again? Why are they not communicating again? Then you create more of that. And then if when they do come together, you're thinking or feeling, oh, I know they're going to leave again. It's just a matter of time. You're creating that. So this key in your hand is giving you that solution, to be conscious of your thoughts and your feelings and what you're creating in the dynamic and in the world, and allow that to be the unexpected, happy coming together that's in divine time, that's aligned to your souls, which is where you genuinely meet at the soul level. Atata takato, atata ta ta ta. Okay, so I've just picked a question card. What do I need to know about this person or situation in order to understand it more clearly? And the answer was this one: stepping stones. The process of arrival, baby steps, progress, how to keep on going, step by step, way out, and spiritual growth. So what I'm getting here is that this isn't this person coming in and out of your life. The final destination is not them being in a relationship with you or them staying permanently, although that can happen and that can be part of it. But even then, that's not the final destination. When even if you are together and they're sticking around for long periods of time, like years or permanently, what you're heading towards and what the process is about is spiritual growth. This is your person that you're growing spiritually with, that's constantly triggering you to constantly grow. And it would be lovely if you are growing together permanently, but you're likely to find that there would still be periods of coming together in a cycle and pulling apart. That doesn't mean that you pull fully apart. It might be just going off and doing different things on that day. But what I'm saying is, don't focus on the final destination, on the arrival, because what you think the final destination is may not be what you think it is. And that this coming together and pulling apart isn't the end. It's the end of a cycle. So it's you stepping onto that next stepping stone in the picture, towards the horizon of whatever it is that your soul, that this contract is. It's interesting, I put this under the contract. So whatever your contract is what the final destination is. It's a process. You're on your way. It's not a destination. Like you're not at the destination. And you may get upset if you think that you are at the destination, that this time they're sticking around and then they stop communicating or they're gone again, and that's really hurtful. But once you realize that it is a process, it's a coming together and a pulling apart, it's aligned with your soul journey, it's all part of what you're moving through in this life, then you can do it consciously here, and you can do it in a more light-hearted way, with the security that this is a permanent bond, a permanent promise, a permanent commitment from the soul level, not necessarily about being permanent in a relationship. It's a process. In the process of arriving, you're in a cycle, coming to the end of a cycle, moving into a new cycle. It's part of a bigger process. Okay, so I hope that was useful. There was light codes shared during that. So do make sure you drink a lot of water, listen to your body. Anything that you find coming up as a release, as part of the healing, as part of the movement to this solution, to this understanding, to this lightheartedness, is likely to be the opposite of what the healing is. So it comes up to clear. So for example, it would be the feeling that this has ended when it hasn't, or that, you know, yeah, I think that's what it would be. It would be feeling loss, feeling sadness, like that's the end, when in fact it's probably not. Let me know if other things come up that are relevant to this reading as part of the clearing. Blessings, everybody.